Welcome, everybody. Now, if you're here, you're likely a parent, a entrepreneur, or someone who's working away in their 9 to 5, possibly, corporate life. And as you do that, you find yourself constantly thinking the thought like, when there's more time, that's when I'm really going to step into who it is I'm meant to be. That's when I'm going to make that change. That's when I'm going to take that idea and do more with it. Or that's maybe when I've got more time, more money, more energy. That's when I'm going to make the meaningful pivot that I've been looking to do and without having to destroy everything around me or blow everything up. If you've caught yourself thinking those things, like, here's what I need you to know, that you're creating this graveyard of what-ifs. Graveyard of what-ifs all around you. Your dreams are dying, and they're dying off before you do, because you keep waiting for that someday. You're waiting for the permission before you start. And today I want to talk to you about how you can actually resurrect them and start doing that today, right where you are, not having to wait for any perfect circumstance to come along. Now, I want you to join me because I'm going to unpack that a little bit, and then I'm going to dive into 5 very specific, what I call shovels, the things that you're using to dig yourself deeper, and how we can stop using those and start building back to who it is that you want to be. Now, I personally, I've walked the same path as you. I'm a parent, I'm an entrepreneur. I've, worked in that corporate sea of cubicles before. And so I know everything that we're going to talk about today is grounded in the fact that you can't just burn everything down and start over. You can't just go move to the woods to find yourself. So these are going to be things that you can go do in the life that you're already living right now. Because I used to believe that same sort of idea, if I waited long enough until I had that, whether it was the more time, the more money, the more confidence, more clarity, the more whatever it was, I'd finally be ready to go after what really mattered to me. And I told myself, okay, for right now, I'm being responsible. I'm being a responsible parent or employee, entrepreneur, whatever. But what I was really doing was digging that grave. Every dream that I had that I postponed, every idea that I second guessed, every someday that I promised myself, they were just sitting there waiting for the right time. Gosh, they're just dying. Quietly, they're being buried under all the fear, the excuses, and what feels like real life, the things happening around you. You're well, I've got all these tasks I have to do every day. I've got parent pickup. I've got these meetings. I've got those things. You've got real life happening, and it's burying and killing off those dreams. And the part that I know hit me hard, it scared me the most, is that I had gotten really good at justifying why I was burying them. I told myself I was being responsible or practical. The timing wasn't right. I told myself that I would do it maybe when things slowed down, and then I'd finally start. But time didn't make me ready. Time just got buried under the fear, and refused to let these ideas, live on. So somewhere along the line, somewhere along the way there, I realized that there were these 5 behaviors, like I said, these shovels that were quietly killing every dream that I ever cared about. And so there were things like a shovel of permission, waiting for people to tell me I was ready, for the shovel of comparison, where I was measuring against other people, of perfectionism, because I was waiting till I had it all figured out, or I had the shovel of creating isolation, trying to do it alone, trying to keep it to myself until I'm ready. And then, of course, there's the shovel of the misinformation, believing that passion was something I had to go find instead of something that was built right where I was at right now, using the actual gifts and superpowers I already had. And when I finally started to see those things, everything shifted. I realized the dreams that were dying off, a dream death, unlike a physical death, is completely reversible. And the moment that you stop digging and start bringing those things back to life, that's where the change is going to happen. And so I started small. I wrote myself just some permission slips. I collected proof that it wasn't too late. I told one person about what I was building, and I started to take these small imperfect actions so that the dream kept breathing. And that's what I want to cover today. As you do these small, simple steps in the life that you already live, it starts to come back to life. The dream, the spark, the things that are still inside you, I know what it feels like to carry that pain of the unrealized potential, the things I wanted to go do. You've got that voice whispering in your head, what could I have been if I had just started a year ago, 5 years ago, last month, whatever, and you're not imagining it. There is an ache, right? There's this gap between the life that you're living and the life that you were meant to build. And so maybe you've been, telling yourself that you've missed that moment, that you're too late to change course. That you maybe can't afford to start over right now, or maybe you've been waiting for that perfect timing or confidence or someone else's permission. If that hits home, it's okay, take a breath, because you haven't missed your moment. Your dreams aren't dead. Of course, like I said, you're not too late to change course, and you don't have to do it by burning everything down, right? There's things that you can go do right now. Like, you've just been holding on to those 5 shovels just like I was doing, and every day that you keep them in your hands, you are unintentionally like digging this graveyard of the what ifs of what you could be. Now, inaction isn't neutral. Like, if you don't take action, it doesn't just keep you stationary. Like, it's corrosive. Every day that you wait for perfect conditions, you're not just pausing, you're bearing the possibility. And so we wanted to dig that up. Now, we're going to be diving deep to this concept. Like I said, here in a moment, we're going to go into 5 very specific, the shovels and what you can do about them. But everything we're going to talk about is, of course, grounded in my book, The Giver Method. I normally do this at the top of the video, totally forgot to. Welcome to the Giver Method channel if you're new here. If you're back for another video, welcome back. My name is Jake Talbert. I'm the founder and author of this book. It's called The Giver Method. Right now, it's available on Amazon. You can get it for as little as, I think it's $2 to $10 based off what version you get. There's a link in the description. Go get yourself a copy before the prices go up. Now, everything we're talking about today is grounded in this. And so the exercises, action items, the stories, everything are grounded in walking a similar path that you have. I want to be your guide to show you, like, okay, well, you can do these things, find your gifts, create more impact, deliver more value, have deeper, more meaningful relationships, live a more fulfilled life. Stop putting the dreams off, right? Based off like the life that you're living right now. Because like I said, I'm a parent, entrepreneur, and someone who's worked in that sea of cubicles. So I know what it's like, and everything is grounded for people just like you. I said, when I realized that time doesn't ever make me feel ready, that just doing action, things change. Because like, you start putting down those shovels and you like watch those buried dreams, like, well, let's go find the imperfect beginnings we can do and start giving all these dreams a chance to live again. And once again, this isn't about burning everything down or adding anything more to your already overwhelming schedule. It's small and doable shifts. So everything we're talking about is designed for the parent, the entrepreneur, professional who thinks that it's not, who might think it's too late to feel the spark inside. The one who wants to turn like the regret into movement, but or that buried potential into real like momentum that they could go and change where they're at in life. I said, if you want to dive deeper, that's where, once again, go get yourself a copy of The Giver Method. You can also go follow some of the social medias, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, under the handle of The Giver Method. You visit thegivermethod.com. You can check out our survival mode assessment, our free resources, our newsletter list, all sorts of things like that at thegivermethod.com. And then, of course, if you're looking for some one-on-one attention, some one-on-one coaching, someone to be your guide and walk you through these principles one-on-one, then check out the link down below about the one-on-one coaching. Like, watch the video on the page. If it makes sense for us to book a call, we can book a call. Now, if you post a podcast, maybe you have an event, you lead a team, you have some sort of a stage where, this message would resonate with them, then let's talk about how we could bring it to them in a very real way. And with that, like, let's just, make sure that if you haven't already, do those YouTube-y things, like the video, subscribe to the channel, bring that bell for notifications, leave comments along the way. So with that, just let's take a deep breath. Like, let's talk about how you can stop digging and put down these shovels and start bringing back to life the dreams that you thought were gone this whole time. And so the first one is the stop waiting for permission and start giving yourself like the go ahead. So this principle, this idea is the green light shift. It's how you put down that permission shovel. Because one of the biggest dream killers is just waiting for the permission. Like, it's the first one most of us pick up without even realizing that we do that. We tell ourselves, like, we'll start when somebody tells us that we're ready, when your boss, a spouse, or life gives you that green light. But the truth is, like, that permission that you've been waiting for is never coming. Not because people don't believe in you, but because, like, no one else can, like, authorize your dream. That's like an inside job. That's a you thing. And if you've been stuck researching and planning and getting ready, like, what's really happening is you're just waiting for the validation that's never going to come and arrive. So think about it this way, like, you need proof. Like, you don't need proof. You don't need the credentials or experience before you begin. You don't need those. Like, what you actually need is just give yourself a permission to try something, even if it's messy, even if it's small, even if you determine that it's not something you want to do anymore, at least you tried. So here's what I want you to do. The first thing, there's this permission slip ritual. Like, talked about it, like, I've done it for myself, done it with lots of parents and entrepreneurs and people who are working away, and it makes a big difference. Before you, check your phone in the morning, grab something you can write on and write out a simple line. Hey, I give myself permission to, and write in one really small action. Like today, even if I don't feel ready, and make it absurdly doable. Like, not I'm going to write a book, just I'm going to write a sentence. Not I'm going to launch this business. Like, well, I'm going to research maybe one podcast on my topic. Not start the dream. It's like, no, I'm going to take one 5-minute step, proving that I can do this. I said, that's all you have to do. I give myself permission to write that one paragraph of the book. I give myself permission to spend 5 minutes researching a side project. I give myself permission to reach out to one potential collaborator, whatever. The act of physically writing it down matters. Like, it tells your brain that you have the authority now. And if you do that daily for 30 days, you're going to notice that your confidence doesn't come from before the action. It comes because you started doing something. The second thing you do there is, like, you think about this, who am I waiting on check-in? Like, if you catch yourself in that waiting mode, that hesitation, ask yourself, like, whose permission am I waiting on right now? And say it out loud. Name them. Is it your spouse, your partner, your boss, your parents, someone else in the community? Like, someone out there, like, you maybe you've never met, but somehow, like, you've appointed the silent judge to yourself, like, whatever. So ask yourself this really hard question, like, and deep think about it. Like, what if that permission never comes? Am I really going to let this dream die waiting for someone else to approve it? And that moment of honesty, it's going to really start to dive deep into, like, where you are. It's going to break this spell up a little bit and be like, I don't need to wait on these other people. And then you make this declaration to yourself, all right? It's a bold move as you write it out, and you're just like, hey, as of today, I grant myself permission to pursue whatever dream it is without waiting for external validation. Like, maybe I'm not ready, but I'm willing to, and I don't need to prove anything to actually begin doing it. And then put it somewhere where you're going to see it. Like, you're just basically, the idea is, let's reprogram your brain to, like, understand that readiness isn't feeling like ready. It's just a decision to start doing something. And then, of course, most people, like, wait till they feel ready before starting. The readiness doesn't precede action, it follows it. So flip the readiness criteria. Like, the wrong criteria is like, I'll be ready when I have whatever credential or experience or approval. Okay? The right criteria that you want is like, hey, I'll know I'm ready when I've taken one small action. Like, this new definition of, like, the ready means you're willing to try, not that you're, know that it's going to work perfect or anything. Like, you're just changing it up for you. Every time that your brain whispers not yet, just take one 5-minute action, just something towards your dream to show that it's okay. Like, we are ready, we can do this. If you track that for a couple weeks, you're going to watch how those someday things, those dreams that are out there, maybe start to feel closer and closer to you, because no one's coming to hand you that green light. You have the green light, right? Like, you have permission that you're waiting for. Like, it's buried. Those things get buried under years and decades of time. But the moment you give yourself the go, everything shifts. If you do that, like I said, for 30 days, like, you're giving yourself permission daily, doesn't just move the dream forward. It rewires you to believe in who you are. You stop outsourcing your authority and you start owning your life, like, one permission slip at a time. That's it. And then that takes us into the second area, which is, like, you stop grading your day one against somebody else's year 5. This is huge. So this principle is all about how you stay in your lane, how you put down the comparison shovel that you've been digging yourself in. Because comparison, like, it's quietly burying the dreams as well. Like, you scroll through, like, social media and such, and you see someone further along, and suddenly you begin feeling like it feels embarrassing almost, right? But you're not behind. You're definitely on track with just a different mix of gifts of serving people. Your lane isn't, like, their lane is not your lane. You have your own. When you stop trying to measure yourself against their timeline and you start moving on yours, like, momentum shows up fast. Like, if comparison has you consuming instead of creating, this is what we want to flip. We want to create the proof that you're not too late. Like, you name your unique gifts and superpowers, the things you have, and you turn that comparison into useful data so that you can run your own race, like, eyes forward, not even thinking about who else is around you. And so what you want to do here is you want to first build your evidence I'm not too late list. Maybe you open up your phone app, like the note app on your phone, or you pull out a piece of paper and you create the note that's like, evidence I'm not too late. And you just add one story a day for 30 days. Think about it this way, like Julia Child published her first book at 50. Ray Kroc, like, he scaled McDonald's in his 50s. Vera Wang launched her fashion things, all her fashion things at 40. Like whatever it is, capture age of a story, like, in this, people out there in the real world. What are those examples? Like, who were they? How old were they? And that when they started that thing, and skim that thing weekly. You're training your brain to, like, get rid of this thought, retire the thought of, like, it's too late. That story you're telling yourself, and replace it with real receipts of people who have done it. And then audit your, like, the gift combo you have, like, the thing that makes you incomparable. You are the only person with your combination of gifts, superpowers, and experiences, which means you are the only person who can make the exact impact that you can make. And so we want to start to identify what those are. So if we think about our top 3 strengths, the stuff that just feels obvious, like, I simplify the complex stuff. I read people really fast. I can read the emotion, the energy. I spot the patterns people miss, whatever, and write them out. And you're going to write up this statement of, like, hey, I'm not competing with whomever. I'm not competing with this person, with Steve, with whoever. Like, they have their gift combination serving their audience. Mine's serving a different audience that only I can reach. My lane is using my gift 1 and gift 2 and gift 3, like the different ones you have, to help these people specifically who they are with a very specific problem. What do you help them with? And that filter, like if an idea doesn't use your combo, like, or serve your people, like maybe it's just noise. Maybe it's not your race to be running. And then you just flip the comparison data, like stuff as data that you just process internally. The next time you catch yourself in some sort of a comparison mode, ask, like, what exactly about like their work excites me? Maybe the consistency. Maybe it's the intimacy they have with their audience. Maybe it's the way they teach, right? Like, well, hey, I'm energized by whatever that element is. You know, that tells me that I value whatever, clarity, consistency, depth, whatever. And now you start to turn the shame spiral into a design note for your own path. Like, man, I'm really energized by that sort of thing. And it tells me I value this. And based off using my gifts and superpowers, here's what I could go do about that. Now, the other thing, like, you can write these one-liners and then just start to take weekly action. So if you're like, okay, let me think about it this way. Like, my lane where I'm at is I help overwhelmed parents use storytelling to connect with their kids. I do blah, 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 whatever that one-liner is. And then the action would be like, okay, well, now publish a 2-minute story like every Tuesday about that thing. Put it on your calendar. Like, pick the thing that you could do. Like, this is my lane. I'm going to keep showing up in this way. I'm going to help my kids daily with this thing. I'm going to help my team with this way. I'm going to work with our customers in this sort of way. Like, whatever it is, if you put it on your calendar, then your lane starts to get very real. And then, like I said, there's that eyes forward idea. Like, you know, if you feel the pull to check what others are doing, like, open all the evidence that you have, you know, reread the lane, like, what's your lane? And then take one tiny step, like 5 minutes max. Just do that and repeat it. Like, you can't move and compare yourself at the same time. Like, comparison steals minutes that you need to build stuff. When you collect like that, the kind of the late bloomer proof, you lock in that unique combo you have and you turn that comparison into like real data. You stop treating other people's successes as verdicts of your own value. You start seeing that, you know, it's just proof, like, that, man, I can actually drive on that same road as other people have been in. I'm just in my lane. I've got one action I can do. I'm going to drop the comparison shovel and make progress that actually belongs to me based off my unique gifts and superpowers in the way that only I can serve the people around me. And that's going to take us to our third principle or third shovel, which is all about, like, stop waiting to feel ready and just start moving anyways. This is all about imperfect action. We got to put down our perfectionism shovel that we have. Once again, perfectionism, like, it's one of the sneakiest, like, dream killers that's out there, because it really does dress itself up as excellence. But underneath it, like, perfectionism is just fear, right? It's the fear of looking foolish or not being, like, that you're not ready, or starting something that might not be perfect. Like, you tell yourself, like, okay, well, I'm just going to do just one more course. I'm going to, you know, I just need one more plan. I need to read one more book. I should figure out this one more thing. We've got to make one more tweak, one more this, one more that, like, whatever it is. But the truth is, like, perfectionism, like, there is no finish line. Like, there's always one more thing that you could change. Meanwhile, like, your dream is sitting in the garage collecting dust, waiting for you to just turn the key. And so perfectionism, like, it doesn't protect your dreams at all. It buries it. And that readiness isn't something that you feel before you start. It's something that you earn by just starting and doing something. And so let's fix that. And so that first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a beginner declaration. You know, like, this is how we want to say, like, I'm going to do this before I feel ready. Right? You know, and so what you basically say is you're going to, like, if you've got any dream you're going to be doing and you want to take one small action towards it, you're going to basically tell yourself, like, hey, I'm a beginner at this, and I'm going to be bad at first, and that's fine. That's okay. It's required as a part of it. The mastery of it is, like, that's the destination. It's not the entrance that I need to do this. Like, there's way more value in momentum over perfection, and I value starting, like, you know, starting over the planning, right? And I value learning through, doing rather than endless preparation. Once again, the simple, like, I'm a beginner and I'm going to be bad at it, and before I'm good at it. That's not a failure. That's training. That's sort of like, that's the simple way of doing it. Like, just, I'm a beginner. It's okay, and I'm going to be bad before I get good, and that's just part of the process. Like, whatever it is, like, and then post that somewhere where you can see it. Like, the goal isn't to trick your brain into fake confidence or anything. It's just normalizing that there's this awkward phase where we're growing. Like, it's okay. There can be the terrible chapters of the process that you're doing, you know, while you're on the path to where you're going. The second thing, like, with perfectionism is, like, you can lower the bar, but raise the consistency, like, rate. Like, there's a rule you could do where perfectionism, like, it keeps the bar where you're trying to achieve so high that you can never, like most people will never take the first step because it seems so far away. So if you flip the rules and you lower the bar to movement, but you raise the bar to consistency, are you asking yourself, like, what's the most, like, just ridiculously small, stupid small version that I could do that still counts as movement? You know what, like I talked about earlier, it's like that one messy paragraph, or I'm gonna do some research for a few minutes, I'm gonna record 30 seconds of an awful audio. Like, you're not lowering your standards. Like, you still want to work towards higher standards. You're just lowering the starting threshold so that you can actually take action and move. And then you track the one thing you did. Hey, today, this is what I did. That's it. Like, you're just building the muscle of it. Like, there's this momentum muscle we're building, not mastery. And then you have to have some, like, progress over perfection tracking that you're going to do, where if you grab your calendar or an app or a simple notebook, whatever, and every day you take even the tiniest action towards your dream, mark it as a win. Once again, the quality isn't what we're scoring. We're not judging it. Just like, did I move? Did I do something? And if you're able to do that, like after 30 days, you go count the movement days. Like if you're at 20, like that's 20 more days that your dream was alive instead of buried. That's how you retrain your brain to see progress as consistency, not the need for perfection. And then, the momentum creates real clarity, and understanding that, how you reframe that, like, clarity doesn't come before you act, it comes because you take action. And so you won't ever think your way into clarity. You move your way into it. Every time you find yourself stalling because things feel uncertain, just remind yourself, like, hey, the next step doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to create data. I'm going to write the bad paragraph. I'm going to launch the half-baked idea. I'm going to post the thing I'm scared of. That movement gives you feedback. The writer who shows up, for 10 minutes a day, they will find their voice. The business owner who launches the imperfect product finds their customer. The employee who experiments with the side project finds things that actually light them up. Like, once again, perfectionism is going to keep you busy thinking, and not actually taking action or doing anything. Like, ready isn't a feeling. Like, it's just a decision you make to just take some sort of motion. And when you embrace it, like being the beginner, you're lowering that bar, you celebrate your progress along the way. Like, it changes things, because that imperfect step is like the one movement that you did that day. Like, that's your dream staying alive and being brought back to life more and more. That's how you put down this third shovel and start building the future that is actually moving, instead of keeping you perfectly stuck where you are. And the fourth one is going to be like, you stop trying to do this alone. Because your dreams, they don't grow in isolation. So the principal idea is like, this is a connection shift. You got to put down the isolation shovel, because most of us were taught that independence is strength, right? And when it comes to our dreams, we carry them alone. Like, sometimes no help, no witnesses, no vulnerability. Like, we just tell ourselves, like, hey, I'll share this when it's more real. I want to put that all out there, right? But what actually happens is, the longer you keep your dream a secret, the heavier it will get. And isolation, it doesn't protect it, it suffocates the dream out. And so the dreams, they need oxygen. They need belief, they need feedback, they need encouragement. And when you start sharing with the right people, things shift, right? So here's what you want to do. You want to build your dream support trio, is what I call it. Not everyone needs to know, about your buried dreams, right? Isolation means, like, it doesn't mean that no one knows, that kills it, right? Like, not everyone needs to know about this dream, but someone does. And so there's three roles I want you to think about. There's the believer, the accountability partner, and the guide. So the believer is the person who will cheer you on when things get messy. The accountability partner is the one who asks, like, hey, did you take that action today? Did you do that thing this week? And the guide is someone who's further along than you and can give you perspective when you're stuck. Go find those people, write their names down, reach out to them with something simple, like, hey, I'm working on this thing, this dream that I've been buried for a while, and I'd love your support in a small way. Would you be open to, and do a very specific ask to them? People love being invited into meaningful work. You're not bothering them. You're giving them a chance to matter. And then you got to share things before they're ready. That's where this thing starts, some cases, gets so uncomfortable for people, because but it's truthfully, it's one of the most game-changing parts of it. Like, you share your dream with one trusted person before it's ready, not after you polished it. Like, hey, I've been thinking about finally whatever the dream is. And I'm not sure where it will go, but I'm just giving myself permission to explore it a little bit. And when you just say those things out loud, two things happen. Once again, the dream becomes more real. Your words will breathe life into it. And then the person often tells you, like what they tell you is going to be surprising. Like, they're going to come back with encouragement of your idea, or ideas that maybe you didn't see on your own. Every dream needs to be spoken into existence before it can take form, And then specific support requests, you have to be so specific as what you're looking for. Vague asks lead to vague support. But when you share your dream, be clear about what you actually need help with. Hey, would you text me on Fridays and ask me if I wrote anything this week? Could you ask me about my business idea, for 15 minutes once a month? Would you check in on me every couple of weeks, remind me it's not too late? Like, most people, what they're like, they want help. They want to help you. They just need a clear invitation of what that thing is that you need from them. And then there's some isolation warning signs you might want to put in place, where every week ask yourself 3 questions to check if you're falling back into isolation. Have I shared my progress with anyone this week? Have I asked anyone for help or feedback? And have I connected with anyone pursuing something similar? And if the answer is no to these, like, hey, you might need to, start coming back out of that isolation mode. Maybe pick something, share it, ask, connect, whatever it is. Like, that one move, it breaks the pattern for you, because once again, these dreams, they're not meant to be solo. Like, they're not solo missions. Isolation makes everything feel 10 times heavier. And so we want to change that. Like, you don't need to announce your dream to the world, just to the right people. One person, one specific ask, one honest connection that you could make this week. That's how you put this 4th shovel down and bring more life back into this dream that you're trying to achieve. And that takes us to the 5th and final one, which is stop waiting to find it and build through what you give. It's all about your passions, right? We got to put down this misinformation shovel that people carry around with them. And it's one of the biggest lies that keeps people's dreams buried, is that the idea that passion is something that you find someday. And most people think like there's that magical moment, like lightning's going to strike me and suddenly everything's going to feel clear and effortless. But like, that's not how it works. Passion doesn't appear from thin air. It grows because of action. By using your natural gifts, your superpowers to serve others, not by sitting around waiting to feel inspired. Like, if you've been waiting to feel ready, like excited or certain to begin, like, this is your wake-up call. Like, you don't wait for passion to make your move. Like, you just make a move and passion will follow. So the first thing I want you to focus on is, like, there's this gifts grow and give an experiment. And so passion, once again, it doesn't live in your head, it lives in motion. So think about something that just comes naturally to you, simplifying chaos into clarity. Maybe make people feel seen and encouraged. You create beauty and organization from disorder. You solve problems others get stuck on. You teach things really well that finally make sense. Whatever. Pick one of those gifts and use it to serve someone this week with no big plan, no big moment, just one act of service. And before you do it, rate how passionate you feel on a scale of 1 to 10. After, check in again. How energized do you feel? What was their reaction? 9 times out of 10, you're going to feel more alive afterward, because gifts grow when you give them. Passions grow alongside that. Like, that's just how it works. And then there's this idea of like a 5-minute action and energy test, where if you forget the idea of real passion makes work effortless, like, here's the thing, action creates energy. Take one small 5-minute action towards your buried dream, the messy paragraph, the research, the conversation, whatever, and then ask, do I feel more energized than I did before I started? And if you feel alive, that's a clue. Like, you've tapped into something that's aligned with your gifts. If it drained you, that's data. It means maybe you're trying to build in the wrong direction. Either way, you're learning through the movement, not from waiting for clarity. And then, of course, think about this way. There's the dream as gift delivery. Your dream is like your gift delivery vehicle. Like, the dream isn't just about you. It's about delivering what's inside you to the people who need it. You're the only person with your combination of gifts, superpowers, and experiences, which means you're the only person who can make the impact that you can make in their lives right now. So who needs that? Stop asking, what's my passion? And start asking, who needs what I have? My dream, what I've been postponing, is blank. And my gift is what I do effortlessly. And then who needs this? The person or group who needs this is blank. So think of it this way. Here's an example. My dream is to start a podcast. My gift is simplifying complex ideas. It serves people who are overwhelmed by the business jargon that's out there. And that just starts to shift things for you. It's no longer about finding passion. It's about just showing up for someone who needs what you already have. And then there's this start scared. You just have to start scared. It's a practice. There's this old belief that goes on, I'm going to find my passion, I'm going to feel ready, I'm going to start doing things. But the truth is, you're going to start really scared, you're going to take action, you're going to see impact, and your passion builds from there. So say it out loud. I give myself permission to start before I feel passionate about it, and trust that passion will build through what I'm doing. And then I'm going to take one small action, imperfect action, whatever. Don't wait for the inspiration, go create it. You're going to start noticing a pattern that every time you move, passion wakes up a little bit more. And if you look at that passion through service over a 30-day period, Like the next 30 days, if you're trying to use your gifts to help people, like every week you're trying to find ways to do that. You write down who you helped, how you helped them, how you felt afterwards, and what was your energy like? Did it go up because you did that? Did it go down? At the end of the month, you're going to have so much real data, not theories, about what actually fuels you. You see the passion isn't like discovered through dreaming, but through the contribution you're giving. You know, if you're trying to find the passion, like it's, gosh, one of the most expensive forms of procrastination out there is trying to find it. And it sounds like you're being responsible, like you're searching for the clarity, but really it's just that fear in disguise. You don't need more clarity. You just need to, more contact with what makes you come alive. Passion isn't a feeling you wait for. It's the fire it's a spark. It sparks through movement. Once you see that, you stop waiting to feel ready and you start realizing that readiness grows through repetition. So like one action, no matter how small, one person served, one spark of energy, that's how you put down this fifth shovel. Passion comes back to life as a part of that. And so we put down these shovels and we watch what starts to rise out of that. Because the truth is, like, your dreams were never meant to rest in peace, right? They were meant to rise. Like, inaction isn't neutral. That's corrosive. Every day that you wait for permission, perfect timing, or more clarity, you're not pausing, you're burying what you could have been. The good news, though, is like dreams, like the dream death that's out there, those aren't permanent. They're a moment, like you can stop digging them where they are and bring them back to life. And so this week, just choose one of these shovels to put down, one thing. Finally, give yourself permission to start. Stop escaping that start escaping that comparison trap. Like, collect the proof of you're not too late. Make a small and messy step towards some imperfect action. Break out of isolation by bringing someone in to help you. Maybe use your gifts to serve some, whatever. Like, start somewhere. Just start today, because like that bringing back to life doesn't need perfect conditions. It just needs movement. It starts with the one act that proves that your dreams can still breathe. And so here's what I want you to do. Write it down. Like, what's the dream that you buried? Just one. Pick it. And next to it, name what shovel buried it. Permission, comparison, perfectionism, isolation, misinformation, like whatever. Like that's your awareness. And then tomorrow morning, before you touch your phone, write yourself that permission slip of, I'm giving myself permission to take one small action, one small step towards this dream today, even if it feels unready. That's where the new life is going to begin. Like I mentioned earlier, all of this is grounded in my book, The Giver Method, which you can get right now on Amazon. It's on sale for between $2 to $10. Get yourself a copy. The link's in the description, so you can go get yourself a copy. Go to thegivermethod.com, get on our newsletter list, sign up for the survival mode assessment or for our Giver roadmap opt-in or whatever. Like, get some of the free resources. Like, The Giver Method is about walking you through how you use your gifts in service to bring your dreams to life. And if you want someone in your corner to walk you through that, check out the one-on-one coaching link down below. If you host a podcast, lead a team, an audience that needs to hear this message, let's talk about how we could bring it to them. But before you go, remember, like, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell for notifications, like the video, comment what landed for you. Like, these are big things. Like, you're not too late. You haven't missed your moment. You're not too old, too busy, too far behind. Like, you just have to stop holding these 5 shovels that we talked about. You can put them down. You can start putting them down today. This graveyard of what ifs isn't your destiny. It's just where you've been standing while fear handed these tools to bury your own potential. Time doesn't make you ready. Time just buries fear, so that, uses fear to bury things so that they won't live. Like, when we bring them back to life, once again, this doesn't need more time. It just needs to give yourself the permission. It's one sentence you did. It's one person you told. It's one gift you give. Like, you're dropping those shovels one at a time. That's how your dreams rise again. Not in the perfect moment, but in just real, authentic ones. And your gifts, your superpowers, they're meant to grow when you give them. Your passion is built through that action of, like, not waiting. The dream isn't asking for you to be perfect. It just wants you to be present with who you are. So stop digging. Start bringing things back to life. Because the world isn't waiting, the world isn't waiting for this perfect version. Like, they want you with your exact combination of gifts, superpowers, and experiences that only you have, and that only you can make that contribution in their lives. Today, stop being the gravedigger. Start being the person that brings your dreams back to life. Put down the shovel one step at a time and watch what happens. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Check out the other videos on the channel. Check us out at thegivermethod.com, and hopefully we'll catch you in one of our upcoming videos. Have a great rest of your day.